Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another game with the Metro State Roadrunners for football here in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. The Colorado Football Conference. I'm George Holden, joined by my partner in crime, as always, Eric Galstrin. And Eric, we had a chance to see these Metro State Roadrunners last week lose a heartbreaker to the NoCo Nightmare, 20-14. They looked like they had several opportunities to win that football game. Comes down to the end, they drive down. It looks like they're going to at least get a field goal to put that thing out of reach, and they do the pick six. It goes the other way, and things don't turn out the way they'd like them to. They go 1-4. We've talked about this. This Metro State team is a 4-1 caliber football team. They're at 1-4. They could still make the playoffs, but they've got an opportunity tonight playing a winless team, the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. They've been devastated by a lot of injuries, those types of things. They have an opportunity tonight to get a win out of here, keep their guys healthy, and start the last 3-game stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. A golden opportunity tonight. They're playing against a team that is clearly outmatched. Credit to them for showing up.
Yep.
They're playing Ironman football. I think they've got 14 people on their squad tonight
Right.
in pads. So Roadrunners should have an easy time tonight. They should be able to put in their secondary off the get-go and just go and run the table, run up the score. We probably should have a clock running by end of second quarter, beginning of third. It should be a very easy game for them tonight. They should be able to just get some momentum, build on their confidence, and just build with what they're doing.
I agree. We had a chance before the game to talk to a couple of guys on staff. This is a great staff of coaches, very outgoing, very open, and they were saying that they felt like we did. Watching the broadcast we've done so far this season, they felt the same way. This is a 4-1 football team. They're 2 to 3 plays per game away from winning a game. So if they could find a way starting tonight, it looks like a 4-round prize fight. If you want to put it in that analogy, you've got to win it by rounds. They win round 1 tonight. They got 3 rounds left, and they could do some serious damage in the playoffs, but it starts here tonight against the Wildfire.
Absolutely. And they just – yeah, so they really just need to go after the jugular of these guys. They're a better team than their opposition tonight, but that shouldn't matter. They should just go out there and play football and just get those executions in, get that experience in for their second team, and get a lot of just playing time for people that don't get a lot of it. And they just really need to focus on execution. Just get after it and just play their style of football. And yeah, like you're saying, they should be 4-1, and there's no reason that they can't be in that regard. If they can clean up the mistakes on their offense, they can easily win out the season.
I would agree. This is a team. It's basically the motto should be from here on out, Eric, is it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Absolutely.
So right now we're getting set. Metro State Roadrunners are hosting the Rocky Mountain Wildfire here at Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. George Holden, Eric Galstrin. Take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the national anthem. Kickoff is straight ahead right here on Steve Weed Media. Welcome back to Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Getting set for Metro State Roadrunner football. George Holden, Eric Galsford. You're watching and listening to Steve Weed Media, the face and voice of Metro State football for the 2018 season. Metro State, so far in the season, they are 1-4. And as we said in the pregame, if you're just joining us and tuning in, this is a very, very talented football team led by their stellar, salty, stingy defense. The offense needs to catch up a little bit for this. They've shown sparks of brilliance at times that they could score and make things happen. But tonight's game, Eric, they have a very good opportunity against a winless Rocky Mountain Wildfire team to iron out the kinks, take care of business, and get set for the final 3 rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely have a great opportunity tonight to just hone out some of the things that they need to take care of and play mistake-free football. I think that coming out of here, they should easily have a win. The biggest focus for them should be working on mistakes, execution, making sure that they're not making the mental errors like they have been that's prevented them from breaking through and getting into the W column more often. You know, you were talking about it last week about how they keep knocking on the door at the end zone, keep knocking on the door, and they just need to kick that sucker down.
I would agree. Sometimes you got to make it happen. You can't wait for it. Here we go, getting set for kickoff. It's Shea Stadium, semi-pro football, and the Wildfire with a little bit of a squib. They kick off, and we are off and running. And here comes Metro State, breaks the tackle. He's still on his feet, and he's to the 40. Bounces, tries to go outside. He's pushed back to about the 37-yard line, so good real estate to start there for Metro State. And that'll be number 20, Josh Wilson, on the return, and so we'll see Jeff Lettner and company on offense.
Looking forward to a great opportunity here.
And Lettner, he's shown he can play good football. We talked to the guys on their staff, Eric, before the game. They want to get him rolling out more. And we talked about that the last couple of times we saw. He's very comfortable rolling out when he throws the football with the bootlegs and the sprints. They're going to try to get that going more.
Yeah, it'd be great to see him in his comfort zone, get him started on a couple series, and just get after it.
Yep. So here we go. However, we're not going to see Lettner to start. Lettner will not get to start. They're going to play a lot of backups. We thought that before the game for tonight's game to keep guys healthy. So we'll get you the number in just a second. It's a quick toss. Actually, it is Lettner. And a toss to the near side. Puts his shoulder down, banging away. And that's big number 17. That is Caleb Thornton, number 17. He's wearing number 17 tonight. Gets a quick toss. It didn't look like it was Lettner for a second with the different uniforms. Metro State, if you've watched in the past, they've had their home jerseys with the navy blue, the red and white trim. Tonight they're wearing the away uniforms so they don't clash with the visitor. They're the white with the red and navy blue trim. And I kind of like these uniforms better, to be honest with you. You said you kind of like the home ones. I like these ones better.
Yeah, I like the home unis better.
That's why we're on-air broadcast partners. We don't agree on everything. But we all agree, Eric will agree, that 99% of the time George is right. Here we go. Out of the shotgun as he laughs. The toss to the far side, and he's got running room, loses his footing. He goes over the 50 to the 45-yard line of the Wildfire. And once again, number 17, big Caleb Thornton. He's the horse early on for Metro State.
Yeah, picked up 7 on the play, looking good. Had he kept his feet underneath him, he probably would have had a few more yards.
Yep. So number 16, Aaron Knox, he changes from number 6 to 16. He checks in. Thornton checks out. These are big backs. We won't see Eric Marshall, who was the dynamic runner last week and had a great performance. He hurt his knee last week, but we talked to the coaching staff before tonight's game. They said they're going to rest him tonight, and he should be ready to go next week against the Predators down in Colorado Springs. That'll be a good game.
That'll be really fun to watch. In fact, we're definitely going to be going to that.
Get a chance to go see them in action. Lettner, the quick slip dive, and he'll make one man miss. He's got some room to the 40, to the 35, puts his shoulder down out to the 30, all the way down to the 15. Yakavetta. We were talking to the coaching staff about him before the game. They love that kid, and so do we. He's a gamer.
Oh, yeah. Yakavetta, he's elusive. He's speedy. He's got a different gear. He's really hard to bring down.
He is. You look at a slot wingback, the one word that pops into my mind for him is durability. He's extremely durable, not the biggest player, but he packs a punch when he's got the football in his hands. So quick movement, as we thought would be by the Metro State offense. They're down to the 25-yard line already. We'll go over some scores from last week's games, give you a quick recap. Handoff to Knox through the middle, cuts to the 20, to the 15, a stiff arm all the way down to the 5-yard line on the near side. So right now, you look at Metro State's offense, they're having their way with the Wildfire, Eric.
Yeah, there's just no stopping these guys. And again, credit to these guys. They're playing Ironman football.
Yep.
It's the equivalent of maybe watching a college team play a football team or a high school team.
On the opposing sideline, Eric, they have 5 players waiting to play. That's tough.
Yeah.
When you're going in with those kind of numbers. And quick movement down the field. Lettner out of the gun. Yep, the draw to Knox through the middle to the right side. Still on his feet, powers his way. Is he in? He's right there.
No,
He is just inches short. It'll be 1st and goal for Metro State. And it's been all runs so far by Metro State. We asked the coaching staff, their ears were burning before the game. We said, are you guys going to plan on working on the run? That's exactly what they've done.
And that's exactly one of the things that they definitely needed to work on. You've got a great back with Eric, who obviously is out this game, but will be back next week. This is a great experience for the second team.
Touchdown! Metro State. Knox. He was knocking on the door, and guess what? You said, Eric, you knocked the door down. He's in. And just like that, with 11:38 still remaining in the first quarter, Metro State strikes first. And we could look at some of the scores from some of the games last week, June 9th. In case you tuned into this one here, this was one of the best games of the season. Metro lost to the NoCo Nightmare 20-14. That was a very hard-fought football game. UCCS drops another one big time to the Sharks, 57-0. The Raptors beat the Steel City Rage out of Pueblo 41-14. Wildfire got blanked by the Patriots 49-0. And a closer game, the Inglewood Eagles took care of the Colorado Springs Flames 22-12. And this is Colorado Football Conference in the state of Colorado. Kick is up, extra point through, and true. And 11:38 to go. The score, just like that, 7-0 Metro State over the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, the Wildfire will be on offense. I'm George Holden. He's Eric Galstrin. You're watching and listening to Steve Weed Media, the voice of the Metro State Roadrunner football team 2018. Stick with us. We'll be right back. And the kickoff by Metro State. Glad you're back with us at Shea Stadium. The Wildfire will down it in the back of their end zone, so they'll have to start at the 20-yard line. Tough breaks. I mean, in every football league, there's always a team, unfortunately, that's at the bottom of the heap. And right now, that's definitely the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. They have had, to say the least, Eric, a very rough go in their first season.
Yeah, absolutely they have. And credit to the players that are still sticking around and the ones that actually signed up to be with them. From what I was told, they had like 6 players sign just earlier in the week to play with them. So, hey, credit to them. Like, they're coming out playing, and obviously it's all about heart because these guys are getting crushed out there, still showing up to play. Credit to them.
Yep. And the quarterback, number 18, Delonte Ashley. He will line up in the shotgun. Twins receivers to both sides, one back right behind him. He'll bark out the signals. They're down 7-0 early. Motion. Looks like. And he'll look for somewhere to go. In motion, he got the pitch. And that was number 10. We don't have him on the roster. We apologize. It's been it's been a tough season for the Wildfire, trying to add players. They've lost players. And they will lose a couple yards, so it'll be second down.
I'm guessing it's Big B Tylo.
That's probably a good guess. Tylo Big B. Kind of a nice, cool night here at Shea Stadium. It was hot earlier. Clouds have kind of come in. It's raining over on the mountains. We got a great view like every week here. And it's pretty peachy, I'd say, right now, Eric, up here in the booth.
Yeah, it's really nice up here.
So once again, out of the shotgun, they'll go twins to the near side, twins to the far side. Metro wants to blitz. The bad snap on the ground, and Metro State comes up with the high snap. That was number 30, Glenn Mascarenas, the outside linebacker. He was baring his teeth, Eric, and he was firing in there like a missile, and he gets on top of it.
Yeah, he broke through that line pretty easily, was there. I mean, had the quarterback got control of the ball again, he would have been sacked, obviously. And, yeah, credit to Metro State's defense. They've been tough all year, regardless of their opponent.
They are very good. If the offense, we've talked about this, if the offense can get up to speed and match the defense's intensity level, the sky's the limit for this football team.
Oh, absolutely. They could easily run the table, and they could win out.
They could win in the playoffs. They could win games. They really could. They've been there. Let's see if the second half of the season, if they've learned something. So Lettner, the quarterback, was helping out Caleb Thornton, getting his chin strap taken care of. Offset I out of the shotgun. Twins receivers to the near side, one to the far side. Lettner will fake the pitch. The option to the far side. Knox breaks a tackle, breaks a second tackle, and he is down to the 7-yard line on the far side for Metro State. The next 2 weeks, Metro State will be on the road. Next week, they'll be in Colorado Springs at Shine Mountain High School taking on the Predators. That's a tough football game. They can win that game, but they've got to play flawless. The week after, they'll be in Pueblo at Pueblo West High School at Cyclone Stadium to take on the Steel City Rage. And then coming up, mark this on your calendars for Metro State football, July 7th, the season finale of the regular season. We will be here again as the Colorado Springs Flames come here to take on Metro State. That game could have playoff implications.
Yeah, absolutely. They really do need to win out at this point going forward. Tonight, obviously, we're checking the win box in the win column for him.
And he's got some speed to the 5. He's going to get in and walks in. Aaron Knox. His second touchdown of the football game. Wow.
And just like that, they're up 14.
Yep. We had a feeling this Wildfire team they've been, and it's no disrespect, but they've been the cellar dweller so far in the Colorado Football Conference. And again, hopefully after this season they can gain some players, Eric. They'll have more depth. That first year is always tough.
Yeah, not just tough, but you've got a bunch of people that haven't played together before. It's their first time, whereas every other team in the conference, they may not have been in this conference, but at least they've had a football team where they've been playing, with the exception of a UCCS as well. So those are the two new teams.
The second kick, Nick Brady, he's 2 for 2 on PATs.
So, you've got two brand new teams to the conference. Two of them have never played or never had a football team before. UCCS being one of them, and these guys, the Wildfire, being the other. UCCS has obviously a huge advantage. They've got a lot of people to pull from the university, and so these guys are really at a huge disadvantage.
I would agree. So with 9:38 remaining in the first quarter, it's 14-0. And again, there could be a running clock if Metro State keeps putting points up the way they are. And I think it's safe to say there's a good possibility by halftime we may have a running clock in this football game.
I would be surprised if there wasn't.
And our owner, producer, cameraman extraordinaire, Steve Weed, he is going to be jet setting tonight, and he was worried about if this game goes to overtime, am I going to make it to the airport? I think he picked the right game to go out of town. So if we would pick the last couple that we've had stoppages, and could have had overtime last week, by the way.
Easily.
And fumble at the 7. He'll regain it and gets to dropped at the 19-yard line, chugging for all he's worth. Number 6, Gerard Meziel. Maziel, Gerard Maziel, number 6. So they'll get another opportunity on offense for the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. They're in the blue with gold trim and white pants. So, again, anything time you try to start something new and well, it's like building something, right? You got to start with the actual foundation. That's the toughest part. Once the foundation's built, things become easier.
Yeah, and you learn who your key players are. You learn who the people are that obviously aren't going to quit. And there's several on this team. I mean, if we were told correctly earlier before the broadcast that they actually had to quit the game because they only had 10 players by the end of it due to injuries.
Yep. You got to have the numbers. So here they come again with their quarterback, Delonte Ashley. He'll be under center this time. They're going to go with a wishbone set in the backfield. You don't see that much anymore.
No.
The fullback and the 2 halfbacks, you don't see that much. But here they go. 1 receiver split to each side. Basic wishbone formation. Barks out the signals. He's going to, nope. Thought about audibling. Second man through, and he'll be swallowed up by that stingy Roadrunner defense. No gain.
Looks like a loss of 2.
And again, think about this too, the game of football, Eric, is it seems like the defense seems, for most teams, gels earlier than the offense.
That is typically the case.
And offense, it's about timing and execution and rhythm and those types of things. Defense, it's fly to the football.
Yeah, fly to the football, make a play, gang tackle. And these guys, the Roadrunners, absolutely phenomenal on defense. They gang tackle well. They have great at open field tackles. Their defense is spectacular.
They are, and they put heat on the quarterback. Wishbone formation again for the Wildfire. This time I go to the fullback to the left side, and he is fighting for all he's worth. Still on his feet. A decent gain. He'll gain back a yard or 2 after the loss, but it'll be 3rd down for the Wildfire. So a little bit of a different look. They come out in twins on both sides on the first series. Then they come back out in a wishbone set. So I think it's one of those things, Eric, where offensively they're trying to find anything that'll work. So going out of different formations or sets, anything that'll move the football.
Yeah, and honestly, when you're playing Wildcat football or Iron Man football, sorry, not Wildcat, and you're playing both sides of the ball, you got to look at ways to be creative. You've got new personnel on the team that you didn't have even a week ago. So credit to them for being creative, trying to get the job done.
Yep. Here we go, Delonte Ashley. 3rd down. Wishbone set again. They need some yards here to keep the drive moving. And Metro State's coming. They're showing blitz. Handoff to the second back through, trying to make it to the corner. He's got room. He's going to get the 1st down on the far side. And the quick sweep, the quick hitter to Gerard Maziel for the Wildfire, Eric, and they've got their first down of this football game.
Yeah, that's great executed play. He just turned on the afterburners.
So just like that, you got to take it one play at a time and not try to, well, the old saying is what? You can't eat an elephant. You got to eat an elephant one bite at a time, and that's what they're trying to do here. Let's just take this down. Don't try to eat the whole thing at once. Let's just try to get something positive going. And maybe they found it with the wishbone look. We'll see. Ashley underneath center again. 1st down at the 32. Movement by the right tackle, and that's going to back up the Wildfire 5 yards.
That hurts. Every yard that you get in a game like this is crucial to be able to hold on to. And plays like that, you got to be mentally tough. You just can't make mistakes like that, especially when you're outnumbered, outgunned, and the talent level, the size, the weight. I mean, they literally have everything stacked against them in this game.
Yep. And sometimes, you say this a lot of times in sports, but sometimes in order to win or even think about winning, you've got to be something that you're not. But right now, for this Wildfire team, you look at their season, they've had a tough time scoring points at all. So right now, you've got to keep it. You've got to minimize it. I think as a coach, maybe as a coaching staff, like let's worry about getting 1st downs right now. Let's concern ourselves with moving the chains.
Don't worry about the scoreboard. Just worry about moving the sticks.
Yep, and that'll come.
And it'll take care of itself.
So here we go. From the 29, and there's a misplay, miscue, And Delonte Ashley wanted to hand the ball off, but back wasn't there. Then he pulled up to throw the football, wasn't able to do that. He'll get sacked.
Quickly swallowed up.
You're not going to have, if you're going to get under center as a quarterback playing against this Metro State defense, Eric, you better get back quick and get rid of the football quickly because you're not going to have a lot of time.
Yeah, honestly, the best opportunity these guys have, or any team has, to throw against these guys is on the run if they're rolling out the quarterback. If you're staying in the pocket, you're asking for trouble.
You know, we did see an exception last week with the Nightmare. Keeling, the quarterback, did an exceptional job of being boxed in, and he found a way to slither his way out a few times, stay focused, and fire downfield. That was key for them.
Oh, absolutely it was. It kept them alive on several plays.
He should have been sacked at least 4 or 5 times last week.
Yep, and that would have kept some points off the board on 2 of those drives.
Yep. Credit to him, though. He did a great job. He had a good arm. They played some pretty good quarterbacks so far. So here we go, out of the shotgun. 3rd down. Trips to the far side, and he fires. Tried to hit his slot over the middle at about the 30-yard line. Pass is going to be incomplete. They're going to have to punt.
Yeah, that's a little bit behind his receiver. Had he got that ball on target, he would have had a few more yards. I don't know that he would have been able to get the first down. There's a lot of traffic in the area, but you got to make those plays.
I agree. Football is a game of opportunity. You got to take advantage of those opportunities and capitalize on them. 5:02, the clock stops, and a pretty quick moving first quarter so far. 14-0 Metro State over the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. George Holden and Eric Galsrin bringing this game to you with Steve Weed Media. Want to let you know as well with Steve Weed Media, give some thanks out to Steve Weed Media, Metro State Roadrunners, Holden Strong Radio, and the viewers, you at home. And upcoming events, the next time we mark this July 7th, the Colorado Spring Flames will be here to take on the Metro State Roadrunners. Don't miss that. And we'll get into a couple of other events coming up here as well. Ashley out of the gun, twins to both sides. We had bodies flying in on defense for Metro State and yellow on green. Was it movement by the offensive line? Or was it encroachment by the defense? Officials are encroachment on Metro State. They were licking their chops, Eric. They wanted to get after the quarterback.
Yeah, you got to wait for ball movement.
You do. You do. You always like the heart and the hustle with guys like that. Sometimes you gotta pull them back a little bit. You know, I love the intensity, but let's just go when the ball snapped. Easier said than done sometimes, especially if you're trying to coach a guy that's 300 pounds. You have to be sometimes a little bit careful about how you approach it.
Yeah, and I think this defense is really looking to just to punish another team with all these close games that they've had.
Frustration.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of pent-up frustration.
Looked like movement. That time it looked like movement by the left tackle for the Wildfire. We'll see. Looked like 55 Michael Steele. I believe he started backing up.
Yep.
And they'll back him up. So they get 5. Now they lose 5. Game of numbers, isn't it?
Yep.
So the Wildfire, they'll have the ball at the 23-yard line. Wanted to let you know upcoming events here on Steve Weed Media. Steve Weed, the American Football Association Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It'll be live from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Check out steveweedmedia.com. You can see archived games, archived events, but check out for the American Football Association Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It'll be live right here on Steve Weed Media. Check it out at steveweedmedia.com. So here we go with Ashley out of the shotgun, trips receivers to the far side, one receiver to the near side. And then snap, way over his head, rolls close to the end zone, and I think Metro State has got another touchdown. Wow, 2 snaps that have gone over the head of the Rocky Mountain Wildfire's quarterback.
And he looks injured.
Eric, and he's down in the end zone, and a touchdown defensively. That's number 56, Lorenzo Perry. Was Johnny on the spot. He could smell blood in the water, Eric. He could see it. He got back there like as fast as a Roadrunner.
Beep, beep.
Right? 20-0 right now, and we hope he's okay. It looks like the Wildfire quarterback in the end zone when that ball they were scrambling around for it at the goal line. I think he took a big shot. We, again, hope he's okay. There's an injury timeout on the field. We will take one here as well with Steve Weed Media. He's Eric Galsrin. I'm George Holden. You're watching and listening to Metro State Football and the Colorado Football Conference right here on Steve Weed Media at Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Folks, stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Shea Stadium, Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Eric Galsrin, I'm George Holden, bringing you semi-pro football in the state of Colorado. We're the voice of Metro State University Roadrunner football. They're up 20-0 and getting set after a defensive touchdown and a fumble. They're getting set for another PAT by Brady, their kicker. He is the son of one of the assistant coaches, Nick Brady. And he also wanted it, when he wanted to make sure that we didn't call him Nicholas, he wants to be Nick. He's Nick Brady. So when I go down and introduce myself, I'm going to say, good job, Nick. Okay? When I'm around his dad, great job, Nicholas. Okay? 4:57 left in the first quarter. And already, Eric, Metro State's running away with this football game.
Yeah, offensively, defensively, they're doing a great job. And
Brady?
That's what we expected to see out of these guys. It wasn't a matter of whether they were going to win. It was going to be a matter of how they won.
How much? I agree. But that's why you play the game, right? Last week, we were talking to a couple of the assistant coaches for Metro State before this football game tonight, and they told us, Eric, it was kind of interesting. They said one of the coaches said that on Facebook last week, the No-Co Nightmares offense was taunting Metro State's defense, said they were going to put up 60 on them, and they were lucky to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, and that was only because of mistakes. Yeah, mistakes by the Roadrunners. Had they played clean football, Metro State would have had the win and would have shut those guys down.
I agree. Here we go. Brady will kick off for Metro State. They lead 21-0. Under 5 minutes left here in the first quarter of play. The receiver's back at the 15-yard line for the Wildfire.
Yeah, I mean, you take that pick six out, and Metro State wins by 1.
Yep. And they're going to return it. He gets it at the 14, and here come the Wildfire. And that is number 6. He's been gritty, Gerard Maziel. He'll get good forward ball movement. He'll get all the way out to about the 37-yard line. So best real estate of the night to start on offense for the Rocky Mountain Wildfire.
Yeah. This is a nice run.
So we'll see if they can do. They need to do something in a hurry. Honestly, it's 4:49 left in the first. You're down by 3 touchdowns already, Eric. You got to find answers.
Yeah, honestly, they haven't thrown the ball yet that I know of. I don't recall.
They haven't completed anything.
Yeah, I'd like to see them throw the ball and see what they can do.
Maybe get their quarterback Ashley out. He's a big kid. He looks athletic, though. If they can get him rolling out, sprinting, and moving, then he might be able to see the field better.
Yeah, or, I mean, even if they're in the wishbone, just run that, keep the ball, run it up the gut.
Yep, wishbone, man. That brings back memories. Again, You used to see it a lot in high school and college football, but it's become extinct almost, right? You just don't see it a lot anymore.
No.
Very effective if you've got the right personnel, though.
Yes, and the other aspect, you've got to have a lot of good backs in order to be able to pull it off.
The key, when I used to coach, people used to say the key to the wishbone is the fullback. You've got to have a good fullback to run that wishbone. And a smart, quick quarterback.
Yeah, and the other guys that aren't getting the ball, they have to be good blockers.
Yep. And the first completion of the night for the Wildfire, Ashley fires to his wide receiver. That is number 17, Anthony Garcia, the third, out in the left flat. He'll pick up some yardage. It'll be 2nd and short for the Wildfire.
Yeah, and credit to him. He got hit, it looked like in the ribs. That's the section that he was holding earlier. So if he's throwing that football with his ribs hurting, you know that hurts a lot every time you let go of that ball.
Yep. Well, the old saying is true. As an ex-quarterback, I had a defensive coordinator once tell me the best way to beat a passing quarterback is wiggle his rifle barrel. and it starts by beating up on the body. You start getting the legs and the ribs, you're not able to throw the ball with heat anymore and purpose.
Or touch, for that matter.
You
lose all of it.
Yep. It's not fun. Ashley out of the gun. He'll fake. Makes a good move to get away, and the play's alive. Ashley will fire. And near the 40-yard line, an athletic play by the quarterback for the Rocky Mountain Wildfire, Delonte Ashley. He got away, but he was getting pressure from the backside big time.
Yeah, a little bit more on that ball, and he would have been in the end zone.
Yep, it was a good effort. So I think they know that if they can get Ashley mobile and moving around, that he can make plays. It's tough to be a quarterback playing against a defense like this, and you drop 3 to 5 step or 7 step drops. They're coming after you, so you've got to plant and get rid of that football. And you got to have the wide receivers that are able to get open quickly.
Yeah, run clean routes and be quick.
It all sounds easy sometimes from the broadcast, but I mean, I've done it years ago and coach, but looking back on it, realizing sometimes it's extremely difficult when you're playing against a solid defense where there's not a lot that these guys pass cover well, they tackle well in the run game. There's not a lot of weaknesses on this defense.
No, there's not. I'd say that if you were going to call it a weakness, it would be when you roll out the quarterback.
I agree.
Because broken plays is essentially their only
option.
Yeah, and not just option for the opposing team, but that's the only time you get them out of position or get them doing something out of the ordinary.
I agree. They'll take a timeout on the field. The Wildfire will take a timeout, 3rd down. We'll take one as well. Clock continues to run 21-0 right now. Metro State leads the Rocky Mountain Wildfire from Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch. He's Eric Galston. I'm George Holden. You're watching and listening to Semi-Pro Football in Colorado on Steve Weed Media. Stick with us. We'll be back for second quarter action. Back to Shea Stadium, Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Overcast night, but nice and cool here in the press box. And Eric Galston, he's happy because he gets to sit in the cool box here and hang out with myself and Steve Weed. Nothing better for him on a Saturday night, right, Eric?
Oh, yeah, nothing. So, all right, you're the Wildfire. What do you do in this situation?
Good question. Wildfire, I think they've shown that the short passes out of the sets that they've had, especially out of the wishbone, I think it can work because it throws the defense of Metro off. It's a little bit of a different look. But like you said before, their quarterback, I think he's athletic. You want to keep him out of harm's way, though, but let him run and move a little bit and throw so he has options of what he wants to do with the football.
Yeah, I'd be spreading the field right now. I wouldn't be making it obvious that it's going to be a run pass. I mean, they do have the receiver on the outside, but
they hand off, and he won't get anywhere. He is swallowed up, and the first one there to hit him Robbie Romero, number 55 for Metro State.
Yeah, it wasn't just obvious to me, apparently.
No, I think everybody saw that coming. Sometimes when you're on offense, it's like playing cards, man, poker, right? And sometimes you don't have a lot of cards to work with. You can't bluff. You're not fooling anybody.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to be able to do something more with it. I would have kept the quarterback under center. At least that would have kept the defense a little bit more honest, because you don't know whether he's going to run it, whether he's going to pitch it, whether he's going to throw it. That gives him a lot more options in that regard. In a play like that where you've got short yardage, I definitely would have kept the quarterback under center, and personally I would have run it as a quarterback keep right up the gut.
After this season, broadcasting his first one, he's done a great job. Eric Gausser will become a football coach and offensive coordinator. He has got it figured out. And on just a quick note, Michael Steele, number 55, he was down for the Wildfire. Now he's walking to the sideline. And it could be cramps and fatigue already, that kind of stuff, Eric. If you're playing O-line, D-line, going back, that's rough to be able to do that. You got to be really – let's be honest. I did it years ago. You have to be – to play Ironman, you have to be in good shape.
You have to be in excellent shape.
I mean, once you get into the game and your heart's pounding, man, the adrenaline, you want to compete – yeah, you want to be out there, but when you do that game after game, week after week, and your body's getting beat up like that, it wears on you.
Yeah, and when you're not coming out with the W's help you stay motivated.
I would agree. Guys don't get hurt as much when you're winning. You notice that?
Yeah.
Guys are able to get injuries and boo-boos and ding-dings, but they tend to be able to come back and play. When you're losing, they're in the training room. It's mental a lot of times.
Oh yeah, the injury then becomes psychological.
Yeah. So the punt. And it's a roller, drops at the 31, bounces. Yep, it'll be at the 31.5, and that's where Metro State will go back on offense, leading 21-0 with 2:33 left in the first quarter. Yep, we were talking about that before with the special teams coach for Metro before the game about the punt return and the kick return guys and doing fair catches and those types of things. And he was joking and saying that we said on the air that if you're a special teams coach, you lose your hair, and he pulled his hat off and showed us that he's losing hair. I don't know if that's the reason, but we laugh about it, but it's true because you get guys back there, and sometimes it's psychological. They drop a punt. They get if they take a bad shot, sometimes they don't want to. They get gun shy. They don't want to be doing it, but you've got to get over that.
Yeah, and I mean, put your hand up. If you're afraid that you're going to get hit, put your hand up and just make sure you secure the ball.
Yep.
Because your field position is always going to be better than letting that ball take that bounce.
Wow. And Lettner out of the shotgun, hands off to Caleb Thornton, number 17, makes a couple nifty moves, and he's already out over midfield into Wildfire territory.
Yeah, that was a nice 17-yard pickup.
You know what I've noticed of all the teams that we've covered? Truly, if you look at the 3 or 4 backs Metro State uses, these are athletic big backs.
They are athletic big backs, which is why I was surprised when last week they didn't stay with the run game.
They didn't go back to the ground game.
Yeah, because it was so effective. And yeah, Eric is a great back and did absolutely wonders in the first half. But if you've got a defense that's beleaguered, regardless of who your back is, you've got a fresh set of legs back there. You've got to run them.
I agree. And Lettner will roll. He'll set. Fire. Got his target. And he will get over the 20 to the 15. 10-5. Touchdown. Roadrunners here at Shea Stadium. Their 4th of the night. Jeff Lettner faked to the left. He booted to the right. And I love what he did. He set his feet and fired a shot to his receiver. He wasn't leaning backward. He set his feet, followed through, and it's a touchdown and it's number 41 for Metro State, Michael Maddock with the score.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pass, beautiful play. Receiver had time he to catch the ball, turn around, look, observe what's going on around him, get upfield, break a tackle, and put 6 up on the board. Great play by the quarterback, and great play by the receiver yards after catch. You can't ask for more than that.
Nope. Made a great throw. It was pitch and catch. It looked like schoolyard that they've already done that a couple times. So for another PAT attempt, Nick Brady. Snap, kick. He's getting practice and clears that with no problem. So with 1 quarter in the books, it's Metro State 28-0 over the Wildfire. And Eric, we talked about this with the some of the Metro State coaching staff before the game. They made an interesting point. If there's some of these teams with 4 games left, it's going to come down to about 3 teams that have identical records. The tiebreaker is going to be points scored, so they understand that here tonight.
Yeah, and they've had a pretty anemic offense, so they really need to run this score up in spite of the fact that, they're playing against a team that's playing two sides on the ball. It is what it is.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, and they have to give themselves as much advantage over the competition as possible.
So here we go. Brady will get set to kick. Guys that kick, whether it's PATs or field goals, they like the PATs, I think, because that's a sign that your offense is moving to football. What's tough on them is when you don't see a lot of PATs and it's all field goal attempts, which means that now instead of it from 15, 20 yards away, you're going 40, 45, 50-yard attempts, which means your offense is not having any of it. He's a young kid, but he's got a strong leg. Good kick. And it'll drop at the 15. He'll lose it, but come back with it out to the 20. Oh, he takes a shot. And that's number 20, laying the wood, Josh Wilson. That was the hit on number 44, Seth Gully. And you talk about number 20, they call that the bullet on the kickoff team. And that's what he shot down there like, and you can hear a little bit of thunk from up here. That gets me excited.
Oh, yeah, you could feel the crack.
Yeah, and it's June, and I'm ready for fall football, and that guy's he's already laying the wood. I enjoy that.
Even with the dropped reception there, he goes, it picks up 13 yards. Not bad.
Nope.
Again, decent field position to start. Let's see what they are able to do.
Yep, you got to work. Sometimes, and again, if you're an offense or a team, you find yourself down 28-0. The old saying comes true: is that when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging and call for a rope. You've got to find a way to get it yard by yard, first down by first down, whatever it takes. And one of the things too,
or dig out a pair of stairs.
Yeah, dig out a pair. There you go. I had a coach years ago growing up, and I'll never forget it. I was at Pee Wee, but he was the high school coach, and we ran from Pee Wee to junior high. We ran the same offenses and all that. The one thing he taught us from a young age, I'll never forget to this day, was I don't ever want to see any of you guys looking at the scoreboard during a game. If you do what you're supposed to do down on that field for 4 quarters, the scoreboard takes care of itself.
Yep, every time.
Never forgot that. Coach Lee Hitchcock, he was the one that said that, and I remember that burning into my mind. So, Coach, if you're listening or watching, that was for you. 1:39 remaining. I thought it was the end of the first quarter, but it wasn't. The clock showed that earlier, but we still have 1:39 left in the first quarter of play. So the Wildfire offense will talk it over in the huddle. They need answers right now, Eric. And sometimes, obviously in a situation like they're in, you're 0-5, you don't have a lot of answers, so you have to go out and look for them.
Yeah, you really do. And it's, they're going to have to get creative. Metro State's got a stellar defense, and they're just going to have to really, for lack of a better word, be as creative as possible, try to throw them off, maybe a screen, maybe rolling out the quarterback a little. I've yet to see the quarterback run.
Nope.
I'd like to see that. I think they can do a lot with that.
And he is swamped under, and he'll get a reception out of it. He threw it up, and that was to number 6. That's been his target most of the night. Number 6, I'm looking for him on the roster here again. Oh, here he is, Gerard Maziel. But, boy, the quarterback, Ashley, he tried to go left, turn around, nothing there, and throws that. That was a dangerous pass to throw out a lot of air on it. And fortunately, Maziel comes up with it, picks up a couple, which should have been a loss.
Yeah, should have been a loss, gets 5.
So take it whatever way you can get it.
And that's what I mean. Get creative. You got to find a way to get it done.
So George Holden, along with Eric Galsrin, semi-pro football in the state of Colorado. This is the Colorado Football Conference. There's 10 teams. And right now, the Metro State Roadrunners, they're 1-4. And the Rocky Mountain Wildfire, they are 0-5 on the season. Metro State, we watched them play against NoCo. They let that one get away last week, and hopefully this last 4-game stretch, they can make some noise in the CFC. We'll see. Out of the shotgun, Ashley. Clock under 30 seconds of the first quarter. He's out of the shotgun. Looks, fires, got his target, far side, breaks one tackle. He's across the 35. He's going to have a first down. He's over the 40 to the 41-yard line. So, well-executed play. It's that quick shot they like to either side, and they're able to move the sticks.
Second time.
Yep.
Third time.
You got to build. You got to build on it. You get 1 first down, 2, 3, 4. Things start going your way, but under 5 seconds. And from Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, we are 1 quarter in the books. 1 and done. 3 to go. At the end of 1 quarter, you can hear the buzzer. It is Metro State. They lead 28-0 over the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. Stay with us, folks. We'll bring you second quarter action. He's Eric Galsford. I'm George Holden. You're watching and listening to CFC Football, the Metro State University Roadrunners, right here on Steve Weed Media. Back to Shea Stadium, Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Getting set for second quarter action. So far in 1 quarter, Eric, dominating performance as we thought it would be by Metro State over the Wildfire.
Yeah, their defense doing an excellent job. Actually came up with the points themselves. So credit to the defense for getting that done. Offense, 3 times with the ball, 3 times putting the score up. So it should be a lot more of that in the second quarter.
Yep. So they switch sides. And now the Wildfire will be heading toward the south goal here at Shea Stadium. And like you said during the break, you made a good point. Metro State on defense is playing mostly second team guys right now. They're gearing up for next week's game with the Predators down in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, obviously they don't have the depth to go true second string all the way through for offense and defense. They've got 30, 40 players. So they've got a lot, not quite enough to do.
And end around by the Wildfire, and he'll step out of bounds. He'll get about 5 yards. That was number 10. We don't have him on the program. He might have been one of the players added to the Wildfire, but they're going to take positive yards as we just get underway in the second quarter. And again, upcoming events here on Steve Weed Media. We'll have a 2-week hiatus, 2 road games for the Metro State Roadrunners. Next week down in Colorado Springs, and the week after that down in Pueblo. They will finish here the July 7th, the season finale of the regular season. They'll host the Colorado Springs Flames. And my understanding is that we will, if Metro State makes the postseason in the playoffs, we will be covering them. That should be exciting. Want to remind you here on Steve Weed Media, the American Football Association Hall of Fame induction ceremony live from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, June 22nd. Mark that on your calendars. June 22nd, Steve Weed Media will do the AFA Hall of Fame induction ceremony live. So here we go. Ashley out of the shotgun. One back to his right, twins to the near side. He'll fake, fires over the middle, and the receiver had it in his hands, and he backed away from it. I think he was hearing footsteps.
I think he's hearing footsteps, too. The ball was really poorly thrown. He would have been grabbing that ball by his ankles, and that's a recipe for disaster if you're a receiver trying to catch a football.
Yep.
Especially when you've got 2 people bearing down on you.
Yep. So the Rocky Mountain Wildfire, they're trying to create their. When you're in a situation like that, you have to create your own hope. You really do. And staying positive and upbeat, that's tough. When you look at the sideline, they've got 4 or 5 subs on the sideline. That's an empty sideline. Hopefully, they're going to learn and grow from that this season, and in the offseason, they're going to bring some more guys in. When we have a chance to see them next season, they got 40, 45 guys out there.
Yeah, it'd be great to see them come back next year and get a couple wins.
So Ashley out of the shotgun. To me, he stands out as the best player so far on this football team. And we've got movement up front, yellow on green again at the 45-yard line. Metro State saying false start by the Wildfire. I think the officials are going to agree with them. It's going the other way.
False start.
And that's what Glenn Mascarenas, number 30 for Metro State, says. He points, he says, back him up 5. So 3rd down and 11 yards to go for the Wildfire. They've shown the spread. They've shown the offset eye out of the shotgun. They've shown the wishbone. They've kind of pulled out some different looks.
Well, again, their best asset and the best thing that they have in their pocket, or the ace up their sleeve, so to speak, is just being able to be creative and trying to figure out ways to just make things happen. Unfortunately, you can't make mistakes like this. You're down 28 points. You gotta play smart football. You gotta keep your head in the game, and you.
Movement again. I think Mascarenas went this time.
Yeah, I think that was encroachment.
And you see his head jerk because he's mad at himself. I think he knows. I just a little too soon. I think sometimes, especially with outside linebackers and tackles, there's jawing going on. Hey man, I'm coming. I'm going to beat you. Hey man, I'm coming. And they start getting into that.
Oh yeah, running the mouth,
tat stuff back and forth, and they get their head out of the game.
Yep, and then you try to look for that to get the upper hand, and now you got a penalty.
Yep. And I'll tell you, you look back at the years ago in the NFL, outside linebackers that were able to drive tackles and tight ends crazy and able to get away with that mental side of it. Lawrence Taylor was a master at that.
Oh yeah,
he was an absolute master at baiting people.
Oh yeah.
You know, he used to say stuff like, "Hey, is it just you?" That's what I said. He goes, "Because it's going to take more than that, man. You better get help." You know, I love it.
The best part is he could back it up.
He could back it up. Yep. So Ashley tried the fake and then the pitch, and the ball's picked off by Metro State, and they are going to. That is Jordan Yakavetta. So not only does he catch passes on routes on offense, he also catches little swing passes by the other team, and looked like he was going to go back for 6 the other way.
Yeah, I think that might have skipped off the turf. I think that's.
But he's smart. He picked it up and kept running, hoping that they wouldn't blow the whistle.
Yes.
Smart.
Yes.
Well, here's one thing I will say. I don't know if, as a coach, how I feel about number 15, as effective and as essential as he is on the offense, using him on defense. I'm not sure I'm totally on board with that. And that's just from where I'm sitting here in the booth. What do you think?
I say let him play. I mean, the more positions he's able to play, if you're an NFL scout and you're looking at this kid, you want to see if he's got versatility. Maybe they can't use him as a wide receiver. Maybe they want him as a corner or a safety or or a linebacker or another position. So if he's able to do those things, he's got obviously it's a high football IQ. That's something you want to see.
Well said. And the punt by the Wildfire back to the 30. And here comes Metro State. He's looking for running room to the 45, out to the 50, all the way to the 48-yard line of the Wildfire. And that is number 28, Danny Duarte for Metro State. They had 3 deep guys on the punt, and he comes out of it with the ball. And another great return and spectacular field position for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, there's not much that you can credit to for the Roadrunners for their execution, for staying with their game plan. But your heart goes out to
the Wildfire. Well, I mean, this is a team with the Wildfire that it's almost like they're in, and it's not in any disrespect, they're in survival mode this season.
Yeah, they really are, and it's they're outclassed. They've got the opposing teams have got a 2-to-1 ratio or better with player personnel, so they're able to substitute and get a break. These guys, not only are they not getting a break for a substitute, they're not getting a break because they're playing both sides of the ball.
And Thornton out of the shotgun takes the handoff all the way down to the 29-yard line. These big bruising backs for Metro State. I mean, it's, it's kind of, what's that old saying that they used to talk about in college football? Student body right, student body left. It's pretty much all they're doing. You're going to give the ball to either back, and he's going to find a way to get some daylight and put his shoulder down and get downhill after people. So, once again, Metro State offense on the move and threatening again.
Yeah, the thing that you want to, if you're Metro State, at least from a coaching standpoint, you want to make sure that these guys are executing, that their technique is spot on, that they're blocking and everything is going, that they're doing it the way that they're supposed to, so that they're not getting off of what they should be. That you build to a certain point, and a game like this, for opposition-wise, it's kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that they're staying with their technique, staying with the things that they've been building upon throughout the season, so that when they meet their next opponent next week, that they're not like the foot off the gas, so to speak, that they're not playing sloppy football.
Yep.
You want to make sure that you're still staying, still grinding, still executing the way that you've been training all season long.
And that was Marcel Willis, number 7 on the last carry. Basically what you're saying is, I agree with you, Eric, is you want to play up, you don't want to play down.
Exactly. You've obviously should have an easy win today, but don't take your foot off the accelerator, even though it's going to look kind of like, oh, well, you're beating up on the little guy. Well,
Lettner's going to run. Yep. And he's all the way out to the 21-yard line. Lettner didn't like what he saw. I like that. We talked about it before the game. Remember, I mentioned to his staff.
Yep.
I said, hey, sometimes he looks like he wants to run, but he waits just a split second too long, and he gets sacked or tackled. Right there, Lettner looks and says, hey, I'm going, and picks it up. That breeds confidence.
Yes.
When you get a quarterback that's able to get positive yards, run up field, plus on the defensive side, then they start getting in the huddle going, hold on a second, we don't want to be going after this guy and having to flush him outside. He's got decent foot speed. We don't want to chase this guy around all night.
Yeah, we don't want to chase him or the backs or the receivers. As we want to keep their offense two-dimensional, not 3.
So it's an offset I. Twins receiver to the far side, 1 receiver to the near side. Lettner out of the gun. He'll hand off to the second man through, Mascarenas. And he'll take a shot. He's hit at about the 20, and he leans forward to about the 18-yard line.
Picks up a first down.
Yep, and it's Glenn Mascarenas. He's usually, I think he's an outside linebacker. Now he's in the backfield. And into the game now comes number 16, Aaron Knox. He checks in. So I like what they're doing. They're rotating their backs. And offensively, I love it, Eric, because it's smart. Because on the defensive side, you can't get used to one style of one guy running the football. You get 3-4 different horses back there. You get a bruiser. You get a guy that can bang to the outside. You get a guy that's a track guy that can hit the hole and go. It changes it up. It makes it difficult on the defense to be able to tackle different runners.
Yeah, absolutely. The different styles each have their drawbacks for the defense to try to combat.
And Knox down to the 10. And think about this. Next week, Marshall should return, so they'll add Eric Marshall to the mix.
Still on his feet.
Yep. Knox, Marshall, Mascarenas, Thornton. They've got runners on this team. There's 4 running backs right there.
Yeah.
First and goal, Metro State. 9:08 left in the first half. If they score a touchdown here, they'll put it up to 35-0. My understanding is, I want to make sure I'm right on this, I believe it's the running clock after 40.
40 or 42, one of the
40, 42. It goes to running clock at that point. Get the thank yous out there again to Steve Weed Media, the Metro State Roadrunner football team, Holden Strong Radio, and the viewers at home. Just want to remind you, you can watch these games live. We'd love to have you live. Check out the archives. Tell your friends, family, coworkers, whatever. Let them know if they like the game of football and they like to watch it. Tell them to tune in at steveweedmedia.com. So here we go. Lettner out of the gun. Knox behind him. Twins receivers to both sides. First and goal. And Lettner fakes. Hands off the end around. He's got room. And the block that he needed to the inside. And he waltzes in for the touchdown.
Wow. Laid the wood. Oh, my.
But they've got a flag right where the block happened at the 15. That's called a crackback block by the slot. And he came in and absolutely dropped the hammer on the Wildfire player. I'm wondering if they're saying it's unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow. Wow. That was a big shot.
I'm surprised he's still on his feet.
And I hope I'm right. I want to say it's number 7, Marcel Willis, that laid that block. And that from up here looked textbook to us, but the officials saw it differently on the field, so they'll call back the touchdown.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, after that block, you talk about fundamental football, he walked in for the score. There was nobody there to touch him.
No, it's wide open. He could have walked in, literally, not even jogged or run.
Yep. I mean, he had an escort into the end zone. Thank you very much. Basically, what we like to call that in the crack block, that's when the slot turns into a really good chauffeur. You know? Here you go.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a lane for you. Don't say I never did anything for you. Lettner, they'll back him up. And I'll tell you what, coaches, though, that like physical football, they will take that penalty.
Yep. All day.
Lettner. He's going to sprint near side. Looking, fires, and the pass is a little short. He short-armed it a little bit, and his intended target, was that Knox? Knox or Thornton into the end zone.
Yeah, he was already too low to be able to try to scoop that.
Yep. Yep. So that was actually 19, Trey Muller. The Eagle Eye, Steve Weed, said that was number 19. So Trey Muller, it was a little behind him. He was already falling back into the end zone. But I like what Lettner did. He made sure to clear on the sprint all the way around before he made his decision.
Yeah, excellent view. He was able to see the whole field in front of him. He makes sure that you're not going to throw a pick.
Yep. And I thought he was going to run for a second, Eric. I thought he's like, he had at least 10, 12 yards. I thought he was going to take off.
I thought he was too. I thought that was a run all the way. And he would have picked up another 10 yards.
And we've got movement by Metro on the far side. That's not good. That's number 13. And don't have him on the roster. One of the guys that was added to the roster this week, number 24, that is Chase King, a linebacker for Metro State. And again, Eric Marshall, the dynamic back we saw last week, they're saying they're resting him tonight. He had that knee injury last week. It wasn't as bad as ankle. It wasn't as bad as we thought. He should be good to go. That means you'll have 4 stud backs for Metro State going into the last 4 games of the season. I think that bodes well.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want as many healthy players as possible. This is a great way to get some rest for the guys that need it with a team like this.
And Lettner gets sacked and loses a football. Lettner was chased down from the backside, hit right in the middle of the back. Ball squirts out, and the Wildfire forced their first turnover of the football game. Wow. Well,
yeah, if I had to take a guess, I'd say it might be one of their first of the season.
Yeah, could be. But, positive plays, you take them where you can get them. Great defensive play by the Rocky Mountain Wildfire.
Yeah, great play.
Because you had a touchdown called back by the Roadrunners after that block, and then you have the false start on the other side by the receiver, and then the next play you get that. So you take it any way you can get it. Metro State's got to look at themselves and go, wait a minute, we're better than this. We cannot afford to we can't overlook these guys going into next week. Like you said, we have to focus and finish. And 2 things that I think they need to do from a coaching aspect that I would say, the old coach's hat coming on. If I'm Metro State, I'd tell them 2 words: poise and control. Poise and control. You got to still have that. You're up 28-0, but they should score 60 points. There's no reason that they shouldn't. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we're halfway through the second quarter, and they haven't put up any points.
Yep. And they did it down there, had it called back, so back on defense. But defense is Metro State's strong suit.
Yes.
So Ashley out of the gun. He'll pump. Nope, looks inside, and he's going to be swallowed in the backfield.
There's a sack.
That's another sack, and we've got a Metro State defensive player. He's holding his left wrist or arm. Hope he's okay.
Yeah, I think he lost his footing and tried to break his fall with his wrist.
Ooh.
Yeah, you want to roll.
Then he is kind of waving the hand out a little bit.
Yeah, I think he got a stinger.
Is that number 6 they have him listed? Number 6?
Yep.
Yeah, Ernest Nixon. Ernest Nixon the third, if I'm reading my program right. Looks like the third.
Yep, it is.
So we called him Nifty Nixon, if you recall, in that Pirates game way back in Game 1. So here we go, Wildfire out of the shotgun. After the turnover, can they generate points? Ashley, Twins receivers to both sides. Yep, he'll hand off on the drop. The middle, and he's met hard. At the 35-yard line, kaboom!
Another loss.
That was Nixon on the hit. Hurts himself the play before and says, hey, I'm okay. Comes back the next play and slams the door on the Wildfire.
Yeah, you're almost like want to root for the Wildfire. You want to see him like at least put up 7 or 3. You feel compelled to want to root for them.
Sure.
I mean, it's almost like watching Bad News Bears.
Right. You're right. Well, it's always you want to root. You want to root for them as long as you're not playing against them. You know, if you're somebody in the stands, okay, just. I remember to this semi-pros. This brings back in 1993. This dates me. We're playing on the Colorado Gold. We played a team called Taikyo here in Denver. It is a Japanese foreign exchange college. We played them in football, and we're decimating them. They hadn't scored all season, and our coach talked to our defense and said, let them score a touchdown. Our defense was fit to be tied because they'd been a stellar defense, but they gave them the score, and they were so upset. I'll never forget that.
Well, I mean, it's a sense of pride. You know, you just want.
Ashley sacked again at the 25. He pump faked, and they were all over it. Number 24 for Metro was there, looking for him down on the roster, and number 8 was there as well. I think they might have added a couple players, but they were 3 players in the backfield that time. They're going to punt. Wildfire's going to punt again. So after they force the turnover and the sack, they're pretty much 3 and out and right back to where they were. So you've got to create situations for yourself. And their defense did that by getting the turnover. Here you guys go. But offense, they're still sputtering. They have no identity right now.
No, and it's hard to, again, have an identity when you're playing the entire game. You might get, one person here or there subbing for you. You've got 6, 7 people on the sideline that could come in. And, of course, you got to account for only certain people are able to play certain positions. So these guys, they really have their backs against the wall.
So the punt again. And it's a fumble back to the 10, and he's in trouble, and they're trying to strip it, and they do! Metro State strips the football. Down.
10-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, wow. And jumping up and down. Who got that strip? Was that the kicker? Is it 8 or number 9 coming off? It looks like number 8 for Metro State. I'm not seeing a number 8 on the roster. We apologize for that. But he runs back, and they're going to tackle him after the fumble, but he punches the football out. He's like, I don't want the sack. I want the ball.
Yeah.
I love the mentality of this defense, man. These guys are just, they're nasty.
It reminds me of a play with Alex.
Oh, yeah. Years ago, Alex Harrison, we played high school football and semi-pro football together, and we're in a game, and we're down, and he ends up, we were just trying to find a way to get the football back. He runs up to the running back, rips the ball completely out of his hands, and runs it back 70 yards for a score, and leaves like 16 seconds on the clock. And we're on the sidelines going, this is supernatural. Like, we were calling him a superhero after that,
Did that really happen?
Did that just happen?
See that?
Letting her out of the gun. The quick pitch.
Oh,
the
nice.
end around. He's going to have room, and he is going to scoot and walk in for the touchdown. Number 7, Marcel Willis gets the score. 1 play and a score.
Yeah, and he was only running half speed. He wasn't even going all the way.
That was a stroll into the end zone, and they call that offensive drive 1 and done. So now you see me, and now you don't. So it's 34-0, Roadrunners. 4:22 left here in the first half of play. And we'll see Brady. He's had 4 for 4 in PATs. Will he go 5 for 5? With a name like Brady, I wonder how many people have asked him if he's related to a guy named Tom for the New England Patriots. Brady, the kick, through and true. 5 of 5.
Or Marsha.
Yeah. 35-0. Metro State leads the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. Having fun here at Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. He's Eric Galstrin. I'm George Holden. 35-0. Metro State. You're watching and listening to Metro State football on Steve Weed Media. Stick with us, folks. We'll be right back. Back to Shea Stadium, and getting set for the kickoff by Metro State, and a little bit of a breeze coming through here. Ball falls off the tee. Brady will tee it back up. He'll try this again. We're feeling that nice, cool breeze coming up through the windows here in the press box. Good place to be. Great night for football. Brady, short kick, right around the 32. Sorry, the 27. Picked up by the Wildfire, and thunk! He is dropped and dropped hard at the 16-yard line. And Metro State will go back on defense. You know, if you're a field goal kicker or a kicker in general, you got a pretty good job when you think about it. I mean, you go out there, you're asked to kick the football. It's pretty much all you're asked to do. The one thing you don't want to do is if you punt or kick off, you don't want to hit a guy that's got a punt or kick return from 30, 35 yards away running extremely fast, because a lot of times you're going to lose that one. But other than that, they've got a pretty good gig. And my son, who's a little over a year old, I'm thinking if he plays football, I'd want him to kick. You know what I'm saying? What a great job.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
No risk, no reward, George. No risk, no reward.
But if you get to the NFL as a kicker, you have a longevity there, right, for without having injury, and you make a good living, right? And then you could just say, hey, you guys are beating each other up. I don't do that. I'm doing shaving ads and stuff like that, and
you
get
the
paid.
flop. And you get the flop.
And you can flop. Hey, you touched me. You breathed on me. 419. That's a penalty. So the wishbone. Oh, here we go. Back to the wishbone.
Ow, my shoelace.
Ashley under center again. One receiver split to each side. He'll hand off to dive to the fullback. He's crashing his way through, and he means business. And a host of Roadrunner tacklers. And I want to say it's number 55, Michael Steele. They got him in the backfield.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration going on down there. Let's hope they can clean it up.
Under 4 minutes and running here at Shea Stadium. As always, a great view of the Rocky Mountains and the range all the way down. One thing you got to love about the state of Colorado is mountains, a lot of them.
Yep.
And here we go, Ashley. Back under center again. They've had some problems with those shotgun snaps. Might be one of the reasons. Mascarenas looking like he wants to blitz.
What was that?
And that play looked like it took a long time to develop.
I think that
and there's a flag. Now there's a flag. I thought there was going to be one.
Yeah, I think that they were thinking it was going to be offsides or a false start or something, and that they just didn't execute the play.
Yep. It was kind of slow to make the call, but false start. They'll back them up. They'll go to the 17-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, I think the officials just forgot to blow the whistle on that one when they should have.
Clock resumes, 3:20 and counting. Time enough for Metro State, theoretically, to get a stop here and get another score before half.
Oh, easily. They can easily do it. If they can get a stop here, they can have a fantastic field position.
So that wishbone look again. Under center, Ashley. The ball is on the turf again. Fumbled snap, and the Wildfire dodge a bullet. They pounce on it. They're gonna have to punt again.
Yep. Another blown opportunity.
Yep. And Metro State. I mean, I believe they should be fourth down, if I'm not mistaken. Looking at the scoreboard, it's not too sure there.
It says third down, but
ball's at the 20-yard line. I think the Wildfire want to milk clock here. But this Metro State defense, they're leading 35-0, so they're gonna start beeline into the football and freelancing a little bit. Why not? Why not?
Well, I mean, if you're the defensive coordinator, now's a golden opportunity
Turn 'em
where
loose.
you can, well, not just turn it loose, but you can get creative.
Yep.
You know, you've got a good lead. You can get creative with some plays and see what happens.
Ashley will pick up maybe 2 yards, but now it's punting time. Ernest Nixon III comes in, and also Marcel Willis back deep. Clock continues to run. Wildfire look.
No 2-minute warning.
Yep, and it should be. Steve Weed, our cameraman extraordinaire, brings up a good point. He's like, there's no 2-minute warning. So looks like there is now 1:36 left in the first half of play. Metro State getting set to receive a punt here at Shea Stadium. He's Eric Gallistrand. I'm George Holden. Stick with us, folks. You're watching and listening to Steve Weed Media, the voice of Metro State University football 2018. We'll be right back. So back to Shea Stadium. Metro State University getting ready to receive a punt. Another dominating defensive performance by them. They're 1-4 on the season. That, all intents and purposes, they should go 2-4 tonight and make that last 4-game stretch, Eric. And
Hey, faked it, almost got it.
you know, sometimes you just got to gamble. You're down 35-0 anyway, and they don't get it. But 1:32 left is, as we've seen, plenty of time for Metro State's offense to score, and they have the football out here at the 26-yard line, so they're within striking distance of another score.
Yeah, they're already in field goal range as it is.
I mean, if you're an offense and you're starting at the opponent's 26, that's a good night for you. Let's see if they can make this happen. And I believe once we talked about it, once Metro State crosses the 40-point threshold, it should be a running clock.
Well, it won't be long.
Keep in mind, too, right here on Steve Weed Media, the next 2 games for Metro State will be on the road in Colorado Springs and Pueblo, but the season finale will be right here on Steve Weed Media at Shea Stadium, July 7th, 7 p.m., as Metro State hosts the Colorado Springs Flames. The shotgun, Lettner. Nope, he'll hand off to the big guy through the middle, and he's to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the 4. First and goal, Metro State. And the back coming through the middle, kaboom, right through there. And it looked like a truck on the loose, and state troopers were in the area and just didn't want to pull it over.
Yeah.
It was like, no, don't worry, he's going to run out of gas. That's when a big back comes to the middle like that. On the defensive side, especially DBs, I think their thought is he's going to run out of gas.
Yeah, but
because
you got to give them incentive to run out of gas.
You get a 180, 190-pound DB trying to tackle a 235, 245-pound back. They don't like that.
No, but you got to figure out a way to trip them up.
Yep, slow him down.
Well, yeah, you can gang tackle. Or
the old saying is you get a hold of him and hold on because help's on the way.
Yeah.
So here we go. First and goal from the 4. Lettner out of the gun. Fires and overshoots as a quick slant down by the goal line. Overshoots his target. A little too high on that. .13 was his intended receiver. Second and goal from the 4, Lettner. And they're doing a good job rotating backs in here. And I think from the 4-yard line, they should be able to open a hole for one of the backs and let them scoot in for another score.
Yeah, but I think that they're honestly trying to get Lettner comfortable with throwing that touchdown pass.
I'd like to see Lettner run like a toss boot down here. Because if he runs the toss going one way, he can run the bootleg. He can walk in the other way. Get him used to doing that.
Yeah, that would be a great call.
Just a thought. So here we go. Sometimes I struggle with that, doing play-by-play, and I switch over to the analyst chair because the ex-coach's hat comes on, and I go, hey, you wish. So Lettner, nope, he'll fake, fire into the end zone, and fires a rifle shot, and it's caught. Number 13, touchdown, Metro State.
He got away with one there. That was close.
He you know what you call that? Threading the needle, and that's what he did. He threaded the needle right behind the pylon. Good throw, good pitch by Lettner, the quarterback. Good
And
toss.
he needs more throws like that where he is connecting, getting across that threshold, because that's been their Achilles heel this season. They get down there, they throw the pass, it's incomplete. He doesn't have a problem with the long passes. It's the short ones like that where he'll overthrow when he's inside the 20 in the red zone. That's been the Achilles heel this whole season. Nice to see him connect.
Yep. And so 6 for 6 on PATs. Nick Brady, the kicker for Metro State. And it should be a running clock from this point forward in this football game. And I'm thinking that most likely should be,
it is.
That's going to take us down to halftime. Steve Weed, the owner, cameraman extraordinaire here, he has got to fly out of DIA tonight. I think he's excited. He worried about that last week if he was going to make. He's like, oh, my gosh, what if it goes to overtime or double overtime? How am I going to make it? I think he's going to have plenty of time, and he might even be able to stop to get something to eat before he goes.
Yeah,
that's
and
important,
then some.
Right? He'll have time to what he was worried about is, I don't want to rush to the airport without having coffee. I want to go have my coffee before. I don't like being rushed when I get my coffee.
Read the paper.
Read the paper.
Watch a movie.
Do people really read? I mean, I do. Most people don't read the paper now. They read their phone. But I actually still like a physical paper in my hand. Maybe I'm old school. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I still enjoy that, the feel of a good newspaper. Folks, we are one half in the books at Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. For the home team, they are happy. It has been all Metro State thus far. They lead the visiting Rocky Mountain Wildfire by a score of 42-0. We're going to take a break here at halftime and bring you all the second half action. I'm George Holden. He's Eric Gausrin. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. We got plenty of football to come up here. And one quick note from Eric Gausrin.
And if any of our viewers have any of the scores for any of the games, feel free to text those in to us. You can text George or myself. If you're texting myself, 719-338-3234. And if you're texting George,
you can text me at 719-217-5685. That's Eric Gausrin, and he used to work for Mountain Bell. We'll be right back. 14:28 left here at halftime. Hope you're enjoying the game as much as we are calling it. Go get yourself a snack, come back, and get set for second half action here at Shea Stadium. Welcome back to second half action here at Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. I'm George Holden along with Eric Galsrin. This is Steve Weed Media. We're the official voice of Metro State University football for the 2018 season. Right now, at halftime, it's 42-0 Metro State over the Northern Colorado Nightmare over the Wildfire, the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. And Eric, we may be seeing some different players here for Metro State beginning here in the second half.
Yeah, I would definitely expect to see more of the second team show and you pull your starters. There's no need to have them in there unless, of course, you've got a hole where you need to have them in.
Right.
You should be pulling as many of the starters as possible at this point, and let those second string get some hard-earned snaps, get some game experience, so that when they play other competition, that they've got a little bit more experience. And two, they just work out the kinks in the game.
Right. There's a saying in the game of football: when you're a backup, it's one thing to get your reps in practice and pregame. It's another thing to get them in live action. You need to have that. And we are off and running. Beginning of the second half, and the ball bounces. He's down to the 15 and tries to turn upfield to get dropped at the 15-yard line. So the Wildfire will start from there. And to say they're in a hole at this point is an understatement.
Yeah, and the top of that hole is getting a whole lot farther away every minute that goes by.
So the Wildfire, they've got a few reserves on the sideline. This is their first season in existence here in the Colorado Football Conference. It consists of 10 teams, the Colorado Football Conference, and 6 teams will make it to the postseason. It's a 9-game season. So 4 teams won't make the postseason. And right now, when you look at Metro State, the Inglewood Eagles, Colorado Springs Flames, UCCS Mountain Lions, it's a dogfight between those teams right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You figure 2 of them, they're no chance. UCCS and the Wildfire here tonight probably have a close to a 0% chance of making the postseason. Whereas the Roadrunners here, they have a golden opportunity. They just have to win out or close to win out, and they should be at least in the playoffs.
If they can get in, I honestly think this team could do some damage. First play from scrimmage at the beginning of the second half, and the quarterback, Ashley, he leans forward, goes over the 20 to the 21-yard line. And it will be a running clock for the remainder of this football game. Beautiful night here in Highlands Ranch. Eric Galsrin and I and Steve Weed, we make the trip up for these games from Colorado Springs. It was another hot day in southern Colorado, and it just feels nice with the breeze here in the booth here tonight. And again, I've said this before, when you played and coached, you're on the sidelines, it's hot, you're sweating, and you're miserable. This is a gift being up here. You still get to be around the game, but you don't have to be around all that.
Yeah, with a bird's eye view.
Yep, great view of the game. So back to the wishbone for the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. One receiver split to each side at the 21-yard line. 2nd and 9 to go. The handoff left side. He'll pick up a couple, but he gets rudely met by the Metro State defense. That's number 6 again, Gerard Meziel.
They stripped that ball. I don't know whether the whistle blew before that happened, but Metro State came away with that football.
Yep. So it'll be 3rd and 5 from the 25 for the Wildfire. They've had a few first downs and some bright spots in the first half. They had the big play to me was when they get the sack and force the fumble. Weren't able to generate anything out of that. But other than that, it really has been another long night for the Rocky Mountain Wildfire.
Yeah, that was a nice bright spot for their defense. A little plume to stick in their cap.
Well said. Eric's getting good with the quips in his first season of football broadcasting. I am afraid of the monster that I have helped create. Wishbone. One receiver to each side. The toss. Near side. And it is swallowed up. And a great defensive play by Metro State. And that is number 18 for the Roadrunners. Looking for him on the program. Can't see him on the program. But what a play by the Metro State defender there, Eric. He was on a beeline to the running back and makes a good tackle.
Yeah, for a loss. all that yardage that they picked up, all for naught. Looks like a 7-yard loss on the play.
So, boy, difficult again. Rocky Mountain Wildfire, not a lot of, they didn't get a lot of help. They're not helping themselves. They just straight up wobbler, and that's going to drop about the 33-yard line of the Wildfire. So again, Metro State will have prime field position, and it just gets worse for the Rocky Mountain Wildfire, Eric.
Yeah, you know, at this point, if you're the Wildfire, you got to start throwing that football. You know, you got to get the defense honest. They're sending everyone. They're not giving them any respect. You don't see any safeties back. They've brought everyone up because they know that they're going to run. You got to keep them honest. You got to start throwing the ball here on their next possession. At least keep Metro State honest in what they're doing.
Yep.
Because they're just gang tackling and crowding the line at this point.
Yep. We talked about this being the Colorado Football Conference in its 30th year of existence, started back in 1988. And there's 10 teams. And right now, we'll get into this right after this play, but we'll kind of break it down a little bit for you for the records as we get into this last half of this season, gearing up for the postseason. So here we go. And it's Wildcat. One back behind, twins to both sides. And a quick toss. Nixon will change his footing. Cut back. What a move by Nixon. And cuts up inside and breaks another tackle. He's to the 30. And he's stopped there, but he broke at least 3 tackles and made some great. Nifty Nixon made some good moves to dodge tacklers and brush them aside. He should have been thrown for a loss on that play.
He should have. That was all on him. You know, make a guy miss, and the rest of them drag with you.
Yep. Wow. So again, we said it's a 10-team league. Inglewood Eagles, they're 3-2. NoCo Nightmare 4-1. These Metro Roadrunners 1-4. The Denver Sharks, only undefeated team, 5-0. These Wildfire, they're 0-5. The Steel City Rage 1-4. The Flames are the Springs 2-3. The Pirates 4-1. The Raptors 4-1, and UCCS is 1-4. And Nixon, again, accelerates, breaks a tackle, and I thought he was down. He's still down. There's no whistle. Nixon stays on his feet, and he will walk in for a touchdown. Wow. There was a pause right around the 16-yard line on the near side. Nixon
he was waiting for the whistle.
Backwards, but guess what? His knee never touched.
Nope.
What balance by Nixon, and there's no whistle, so he steps up and goes, okay, I'll run, starts running, and ends up in the end zone. And I bet you Ernest Nixon III is thinking back to that Pee Wee coach that told him play to the whistle right now.
Oh, absolutely.
And that coach is proud wherever he is. I told you to play to the whistle, and he gets a touchdown. Great play by Ernest Nixon III. Nifty Nixon. Wow. I'm sorry, is that Nixon or not? No, I'm sorry, that's Knox. Aaron Knox. I apologize. Aaron Knox. They've changed the roster numbers up, that kind of stuff. We apologize. That's Aaron Knox. Sweet 16. Gets it into the end zone. And call him Aaron Hard Knocks. And that's what defenses don't like, is tackling Aaron Hard Knocks. And a flag.
Whoops.
Illegal substitution by Metro State. Now Jeff Lettner, the quarterback, he's going to come in, I think, as the holder. They'll back him up. But Nick Brady, the kicker, has been flawless tonight with his PAT attempts. Hope he didn't jinx him.
Yep, 6 for 6 so far.
Yep, they back him up. He's going for 7 of 7. 7th number of completion. Kick is up, and Brady, no good. So they back him up. And now Nick Brady is 6 of 7 on his PATs. So he's going to go to that player that came in, I think, and say, hey, man,
you just cost me.
I was going to go 7 of 7 on my PATs. What's up? But right now it's 48-0. This matches the highest point total of the season for Metro State in Week 2 when they beat UCCS 48-15. So this matches that point output.
And they still have a quarter and almost a half to go.
Yep. And as of last week's scores, and again, if you do have scores of any other CFC games going on tonight, you can text Text us here. You can text us at 719-217-5685, or you can text Eric Galsrin
at 719-338-3234.
Just shoot us a text and let us know. But as of last week, some of the scores, UCCS, they've had a rough go, but the Metro Roadrunners last week, they had that tough loss 20-19 to the Nightmare. As Brady kicks a line drive, drops. That's a great kick by Brady. Rolls out at about the 7-yard line. Good kick by Brady. Really, there's no possibility for a return by the Wildfire. Going back to scores for last week, that was the game on the night. UCCS, they lost 57-0 to the undefeated Sharks. The Raptors took care of the Rage of Pueblo 41-14. The Wildfire got blanked by the Denver Pirates 49-0. And the only other close game, the Inglewood Eagles took care of the Colorado Springs Flames 22-12. Speaking of that Flames game, they will be here on July 7th for the season finale to take on these Metro State Roadrunners.
That's going to be a good game.
I think it will, and we talked about it when we got early into the season, Eric. I truly believe from this point forward that game is going to be critical for both of those teams as far as that could be the last spot for the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure the playoff aspirations will hinge on that game for both of those teams.
I would agree. Should be a lot of fun. And Steve Weed Media will let you know what he's doing over the next 2 weeks. We call him Steve Jet Set Weed. He's all over the place. Flying out of DIA, flying out of the Springs. The handoff to quick slip dive up the middle. And he gets thumped and driven backwards. If you're the Wildfire and you're the fullback, that's a lonely job.
Yeah, but he got 3 on the play, so credit to him. That was all on his legs.
Yep. And speaking of here with Steve Weed Media, American Football Association Hall of Fame induction ceremony live from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. That's a great event. Put that on your calendars right here on Steve Weed Media. That'll be June 22nd. Write that down. Also go to steveweedmedia.com for these football games. You can see them archived and other events that go on here at Steve Weed Media. So back to the wishbone. Receivers put to each side. Ashley, the quarterback, will go under center. Ball spotted out at the 39-yard line. And bobbles it again, and he is sacked in the backfield. That is number 8 for Metro State. He forced the turnover, the strip at the other end. He is, again, we don't have his name. I think he was a player that was added, we believe, on the roster. But he describes that defensive-minded guy, agile, mobile, hostile. He epitomizes that.
He swarms to the ball wherever the ball is, whatever's going on. He's not far from the play, or he's in the middle of it.
Yep. Darts in and out of there like a roadrunner. I don't know where I came up with that. I'm starting to frighten myself at this point. Wishbone, nope, not wishbone. It's going to be one back right behind Ashley. Twins receivers split to each side. Barks at the signals. They have got to get something going offensively. The short passes have worked a few times. Ashley's got time, steps up, fires over the middle, and it was tipped. Could have been intercepted.
In and out of the hands of his receiver. Lucky that Metro State didn't come away with a pick on that.
So back deep. Yep. 2 players are back deep for Metro State. One stands at his 35. The other stands at his 43-yard line. So right now it's tough. It's a tough go for the punter for the Sharks. I'm sorry, the Sharks. For the Wildfire. They, I don't know what Sharks have to do with Wildfire.
They don't.
I'm telling you, it's been a long week, and I will blame the heat. I was in the heat all day, and now I'm up here.
In the heat again.
The heat is on. It does affect you sometimes. I hope everybody out there is going to have a wonderful, happy Father's Day tomorrow. Shout out to all of you fathers. Eric, I hope you have a good Father's Day tomorrow.
Thank you. You too, George.
I appreciate that. Of course, every day is Father's Day, right?
Indeed.
I mean, every day you're with them, it's Father's Day. So here we go. Out of the shotgun. Ashley over the top. He's got the catch. The ball. He dropped it. That's an incomplete pass.
Oh,
man.
Those hurt.
I mean, they're looking for And that was Seth Gully, number 44. Good play call.
Yeah, absolutely. Was executable. It was there. He wouldn't have gotten the first down, but they still could have made a completion on that.
Yep. However, all for naught. It'll be Metro State football again, already up 48 points. And this third quarter is one of the fastest third quarters I've ever been associated. We're under a minute to go.
And they pick up the ball just on the 35-yard line or just past the 35-yard line for the Wildfire. Again, great field position for start off. Sorry, 34-yard line.
So here we go. Metro State, they're going out of that Wildcat look again. The dotted I behind him. Number 6, he'll fire to the near side flat at the 30-yard line, undershoots his target. That was Michael Maddock. It'll be second down. Under 20 seconds to go here in the rapidly moving and almost ended third quarter. So as quick as it went, Metro State gets a score in the third quarter.
And they'll be lucky to get another one as fast as this clock is running.
We are 3 down, folks, and 1 to go at Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Right now, the home team, Metro State, looking to go 2-4 on the season and try to make a big push for the postseason in the CFC. But it started here tonight, that 4-round prize fight, we like to call it. And it looks like, for all intents and purposes, they're going to win round 1 of that 4-round fight. He's Eric Galstrin. I'm George Holden. Stick with us, folks. We got the fourth quarter straight ahead here in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. You're watching and listening to CFC Football, the Metro State University Roadrunners, right here on Steve Weed Media. Welcome back to Shea Stadium, getting set for fourth quarter action with the Metro State Roadrunners and the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. And it has been all Metro State. They're all over the Wildfire here tonight. Want to give a shout out to Devin Robb. He's a stadium announcer. He's got an amazing voice, but he's also doing duty with the score clock. And he was all excited about himself and came out cheering, so we're calling him Devin Two Hats. He's a multitasker here at Shea Stadium. So the handoff. And he's going to cut up inside, and he has got some room. Sticks his shoulder down. Number 17, that's the big guy. That's Thornton. Caleb Thornton. That's the 1-2 punch for Metro State tonight has been Thornton and number 16, Knox. Hard Knox.
Yeah, picked up, looks like 6 on the play.
Thumping Thornton and Hard Knox. I love it. That's the backfield tonight for Metro State. Next week, if everything goes well, I believe Marshall should be back and ready to go like they're talking about for Metro State. That is a huge addition to this football team.
Huge does not even give credit to how good he is. That guy is unbelievable.
He's relentless in the way he runs.
Oh, he is.
He is relentless. He's also, in case you didn't get the chance to join us for the football game last week here against the great one, against the NoCo Nightmare, he is deaf. And, you know, sometimes people have obstacles and things they need to overcome in their life. This guy hasn't let it slow him down. And we found out from our owner, cameraman, Steve Weed, he was playing in another league and signed a contract, was going to be paid to play football. And then something didn't work out, and now he's playing here. And I bet you Metro State has seen him as exactly the answer they needed.
Oh, he's given them a great addition. They've been able to just pound the ball with the running game, at least last week, up until I think he sprained his ankle in the end zone. Yep.
And again, going back to last week, so you go on the archives and watch for yourself, Metro State versus the NoCo Nightmare last week on the 9th. That was an exciting football game to call, probably for people to view and watch as well. But you looked at him. We looked at it that night, Eric, from up here in the box. It looked like he scored. I mean, it looked like he was in. That could have gone. That call could have gone either way.
Back, yes, he was in,
and that may have been enough to win that game.
It would have been.
You know, I mean, they were right there. So they fall short, but they have been brilliant here tonight. And again, against a winless football team, nonetheless, they've made sure to come out here and make things to go their way.
They have. And, you just want to see them continue to put to keep the foot on the accelerator and to play fundamentally sound football at this point, because their opponent obviously is not up to their caliber. So they're not being challenged like they were last week or previous weeks. So this is kind of a letdown game for them. It's nice to see that they're not giving up. They're not slowing down. They're continuing to press forward.
I agree. The injured player that walked off, number 17 for the Rocky Mountain Wildfire, was Anthony Garcia III. He's okay, so good news for them. So they're going out of that Wildcat set. Again, Metro State, Jeff Lettner has got the rest of the night off. He did a pretty good job that first half. They're going to try to close this out. And the handoff to Thornton in the backfield. Makes a move. He makes some quick cuts and hits the brakes and keeps going forward. He'll get a first down.
All right, inside field goal range now. So you've got two options. Let's see them put another 6 up, though.
Yep. And they're going to send in Jordan Iacovetta, number 15, comes in.
Oh, this is going to be good.
We haven't really – he hasn't been there. He's played defense tonight as well. He hasn't caught a pass on offense, I don't think.
No, but again, that's not been the focus of this game.
It's not the game plan tonight.
No.
So we can expect the next 3 games for him. I would expect him to come up big in the next 3 games.
Oh, absolutely. Especially on one-on-one matchups.
If they can isolate this kid, like we talked, then this staff for Metro State, every coach talks very highly. They love this kid, and they have a lot of reasons to.
And he can play both sides of the football and do it well. So,
and he's coming in. He'll be in the backfield.
A lot to be happy about if you're a coach for Metro State with as far as Iacovetta is concerned.
Yep. So here we go. Out of the shotgun. Snap. He's looking. Nope. He's going to turn up inside, and he's got room. And there was 6. He goes to 10 to 5 and goes over the 10 all the way down to the 8-yard line. That should be first and goal.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be first and goal. And, honestly, he would have had a touchdown had he not tripped.
Yep. I mean, he was, He had broken several tackles, wanted to run the option to the near side, makes a good decision, knifes his way, cuts up inside.
Cuts back in.
And he was an ankle tackle away from busting one into the end zone.
Yeah.
Those always bother you.
Yeah, the shoelace.
Yeah, you get the huddle. Oh, we shouldn't even be huddling up again. I should have scored. And then your lineman razz you. Yeah, great job. If you want somebody to get tripped up, I could do that for you.
Hey, you want me to tie your shoelace?
Linemen always have a lot of, sometimes linemen either have nothing to say or a lot to say.
Based on your performance.
And you can't talk too much smack to them either when they're 305, 320. There's not a lot you can get away with saying.
No, they'll just sit on you and you're done.
Yep. The snap, handoff through the middle, and he will walk in. Touchdown, Metro State.
Unscathed.
Number 19, Trey Moeller, I believe his second touchdown of the night. He had a touchdown catch earlier. Then he walks in on that one. Under 11:50 to play in the game. And it's 54-0. Metro State. Jeff Lettner comes in. See, he's a starting quarterback, and now his duties come down to holding for PATs. He was having a conversation on the sideline. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. I got to go hold for this kick. Brady's probably still bothering him that he had a perfect night going with PATs. He's only missed one, and that was after they got a penalty. The PAT up, and he drills it. Brady hits another PAT, 55-0. Metro State over the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. 11:07 and counting left in this game. Take a quick break. We'll come right back with more action here at Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch. You're watching and listening to the Colorado Football Conference right here on Steve Weed Media. getting set for the kickoff with 10-11 and counting remaining in this football game, and a dominating performance by the Metro State Roadrunners at Shea Stadium. George Holden, Eric Galstrin. This is Steve Weed Media. Our press box announcer, Devin Robb, D-Rob, doing a fantastic job. Rob doing the job. So here we go. Rocky, they try to pitch it back, and he is going to be swallowed up at the 19-yard line. Great pursuit by the kickoff team for Metro State.
Yeah, hey, credit to the Wildfire. They're not giving up.
No.
They're trying something. They're trying to make something happen.
Well, the Wildfire, they're going to go obviously 0-6 on the season. But if you look at analogies from a coaching perspective, you could get with these guys and be like, hey, our mascot's the Wildfire. What starts a fire? A match. Somebody, one of you guys, has to choose to be that match, to be the spark for this football team.
Yep. And being up here watching this game, it's reminiscent of Notre Dame, Rudy.
Oh yeah.
You wanna cheer for these guys. You want to see them do something. You want to see them get a touchdown or run something back or something clever and be able to just make something out of nothing.
Well, that's what I've always loved about team sports, and I fell in love with it when I was a kid, was it teaches you to never quit. You have to learn that, to never quit. And that's what these guys are doing. These guys are not getting paid to do this. They're down there every week in the trenches and trying to find a way to compete in these football games. And a good run and a nifty move, the 30 to the 40 to the 50, all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Wow.
Biggest play of the night by the Rocky Mountain Wildfire, courtesy of number 6, Gerard Beziel.
That was a beautiful run.
And, he shows a good burst, a juice of speed on the near sideline. He's a quick kid. Unfortunately, the pursuit by this defense, they're fast for Metro State.
Oh, they are.
And they were not going to let him score.
No, they weren't.
That's a pride issue for that defense.
I was just going to say that. That's a matter of pride. It's a matter of contention. Absolutely not.
Defenses are very weird about superstitions when they pitch shutouts and do things like that. They don't want anything to mess with. I used to know guys that would pitch a shutout on defense. They would not change their socks or they wouldn't wash their socks until they lost. So it was pretty nasty in the locker room.
Or jock straps or
they won't wash it.
Yeah,
it's voodoo. They don't want to ruin it.
Yeah. Their undershirt, something.
Yeah. Now going home with them wouldn't be really cool, but these guys were. I remember being in the locker room. They'd look at us, they'd be like, these guys were nasty, and they refused to do that.
Yeah, but you got to be nasty if you play defense.
You do. Defense is if you think about the old saying with football, is offense is execution, defense feeds on emotion. I mean, you've got to be a person that has that motor and that heartbeat, which is that burning desire to fly to the ball and get a hat on somebody.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what the Roadrunners are doing, if they get their offense going, the offense wins games, defense wins championships.
I agree.
And they've got the defense to be able to win a championship, but can the offense answer the call?
Well, if everybody's healthy, you've got Marshall, you've got Thornton, you've got Knox, you've got Iacovetta, you've got Muller.
Yep.
You've got some weapons that you can use here. It's a matter of don't make it easy on the defense. Take what they give you. And, again, don't turn the ball over. When you get in the red zone, come away with points, and good things are going to happen for your football team. Keep it simple. So here we go. Out of the wishbone again. Looking for something. They got their biggest play of the night. Can they build on it?
I want to see him throw to the right.
Wildfire.
Don't run, throw to the right.
He's going to audible. That's Ashley under center. Receivers split to each side. He's going to roll to the near side. He's going to bring the ball up. Still in. He's a big kid. Lumbers his way down to the 22-yard line.
And he gets a first down?
2 first downs in a row for the Wildfire.
Like we've got a flag. Think that might be a late hit?
We're going to see which way it goes. We saw that late hit last week by Metro State against the Nightmare.
And that
looking back on it, it was costly.
Oh, it
was
absolutely.
costly. that 15 yards made a big deal.
Well, not just 15 yards, but wasn't that, if I'm not mistaken, a third down play? Like it would have been.
It would have been a turnover on downs.
Yes. No, well, they would have had to kick the ball and then, or fake or whatever they were going to do.
Right.
But in all likelihood, Metro State would have gotten the ball back. Instead, it's a first down plus the 15 yards on it.
It was a game changer.
Yeah, it was, and they ended up scoring on that possession.
True.
Without that penalty, they don't score. Metro State gets the ball, drives down the field, win the game.
And so it goes, but they'll go 2-4 in the season. A quick slip dive. Metro State to the right side. Big 55 Michael Steele. 3 big plays in a row by the Wildfire. They're moving the football better than they have all night.
Yeah.
Understandably the end of the football game, but better late than never.
Yeah.
And clock is actually going to stop at 4:39 left in this football game. This is one of the earliest football games that a broadcast that I'll finish in 13 years of calling games.
Was that a timeout?
I want to say that it was. We'll take a quick one as well. 4:39 left in this football game. Rocky Mountain Wildfire moving the football for the first time tonight. Can they get in the end zone? He's Eric Galstra. I'm George Holden. You're watching and listening to Steve Weed Media, the CFC, and Metro State Football. Here we go. Back here to Shea Stadium. Beautiful night. Gorgeous night. And we're getting close. At the end of this game, it'll be the second win of the season for these Metro State University Roadrunners. They should be pretty happy. They head into a 3-game, tough, very, very, very tough stretch. Winnable games, all 3 of them. But they started with round 1 of the last bit of the season here, Eric. And round 1, they won convinced. They're going to win convincingly.
Yeah, and again, you take it with a grain of salt. They're playing against a team that's got 17 players. They're playing both sides of the ball. These guys are tired, they're gassed, and the heart that these guys have for the Wildfire, like it's just
they're still trying to drive the ball down the field down by 55 points. That says something.
Yeah, it's heartwarming.
So here we go. These guys love to play football. Back to pass. Ashley fires. Overshot. Good defense by Metro State. He was right there.
He's lucky he didn't get called for pass interference.
Marcel Willis was picking his pocket right there.
Yeah.
That pass wasn't going to get completed.
Yeah, I wonder what he was whispering in his ear.
Right? Not going to happen. You're not open.
Not today. Sorry, closed.
Yep, closed. Not open for business. Want to remind you again here on Steve Weed Media, July 7th, there'll be a 2-week hiatus. The next 2 games for these Metro State Roadrunners will be on the road next week, next Saturday in Colorado Springs against the Raptors. The following week, the Steel City Rage in Pueblo at Cyclone Stadium. And then July 7th, the regular season finale right here at Shea Stadium, 7 p.m., 6:50 or 6:55 pregame. They will host the Colorado Springs Flames. I called their games for 4 years, 4 championship games. They won 3 CFC titles in 4 years. They were a dominant team for years. This year, they are struggling. And, again, Eric and I were talking about it. This could be the deciding factor in the last team to make the playoffs. 3:27 and counting. Wildfire looking for a score. Ashley, the ball's free, and it's scooped up. And he is tackled back to the 25-yard line.
Oh, that hurts.
Maziel picked up the fumble from his quarterback, but got tackled, pushed back another 5 yards.
Yep, lost all that yardage. Now probably puts them out of field goal range if they attempt that. Now the only opportunity is to get another first down or score a touchdown.
Yep. So under 3 minutes to play here at Shea Stadium, Rocky Mountain Wildfire. They look like they had 3 first downs in a row, and it looked like they were going to make something happen, and then they self-destruct. And Metro State's defense is pretty good, so kind of put a damper on their hopes.
Yeah, it's bad enough that you're playing against Metro State's defense, but you're adding insult to injury when you're not taking care of the ball.
Yep. Well said. Eric Galsford, this is his first season broadcasting football, and he's done a fantastic job. Grade A for him. He also comes up with some witty banter, so I got to give him some credit there.
Sometimes.
So the wishbone, and he is wrapped up. Mazzio slammed behind the 30-yard line. They're going backwards at this point.
Yeah.
And that time the tackle, Glenn Mascarenas, number 30, and a Rocky Mountain Wildfire player still down.
And that
clock continues to run under 2 minutes. Actually, the 2-minute warning.
No. That's an injury timeout.
Injury timeout. 1:55 left in this football game. A Rocky Mountain Wildfire player is down. We hope he's okay. We'll take a quick timeout as well. He's Eric Galsford, George Holden. This is CFC football, semi-pro football in the state of Colorado. The voice of Metro State University Roadrunners. This is Steve Weed Media. Stick with us, folks. We'll be back momentarily. Back to Shea Stadium. It looks like the player for the Wildfire is okay. They've had several guys go down tonight, but they get up. These guys keep fighting. You got to give them credit. They're probably gassed.
Yeah, gas, and these guys showing a lot of heart.
Well, you lose. Well, not even lose, but lose like they do every week. That's got to wear on you after a while. So out of the shotgun. I'm sorry, Wildcat. The handoff, Yakavetta, number 15, to the 35, to the 40. This guy's got wheels, to the 50. Look at him go. He's going to score to the 20. 10, touchdown. Jordan Yakavetta shoots down the far sideline like a bullet from a gun. Yakavetta is excitement on his 2 feet. This guy is so much fun to watch. You look at the acceleration, man. You don't coach that. That guy, I'm sitting here, I'm excited broadcasting, but if you're coaching that guy, you're just like, that's money when you give him the football.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I hope we see this guy in the pros.
This guy's got another gear. I mean, you watch him accelerate. Other players are full throttle trying to get to him, and he's just leaving him in the dust. That is a burst of speed that's a gift. Jordan Yakavetta. Wow. 61-0. And I bet this will probably be it. I would assume, Eric.
Yeah, might get the kickoff, but doubtful. I think they're going to kick this, and it's going to be a done deal.
So Brady will. That was another one-and-done drive. No problem with the PAT. Nick Brady, 62-0. Metro State all over the Rocky Mountain. You could. It's safe to say the Metro State Roadrunners put the fire out tonight over the Wildfire, the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. They go 0-6. Metro State will get their second win. They go 2-4. Round one of that 4-round prize fight, Eric. They win it in dramatic fashion. Now they go on 2 road trips and then back home. So I guess their actual destiny for the postseason is in their hands.
Absolutely. Like it's been all season long. Let's hope that they take and build from this, and that we'll be able to see them come away with some wins for the rest of the season. Well
said. That's a final here at Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Hope you've enjoyed it. Check out the archive on steveweedmedia.com as well. It's official, 62-0. The home team, Metro State, takes care of business on the Rocky Mountain Wildfire. We'll see you in 2 weeks right here, July 7th, Shea Stadium, as the Colorado Springs Flames invade Shea Stadium. Until then, for everybody here, for my partner, Eric Galsford, for Steve Weed at Steve Weed Media, and for Devin Robb calling the game from the press box, folks, have a fun and safe weekend. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night from Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch, Colorado.